A touch of Victorian values. Will and Emily found the shop by accident. They were walking home from a dinner where Will had spent most of the evening explaining Emily's jokes for her and mansplaining to any woman within earshot. She didn't argue anymore. She'd learned it only makes things worse. She walked a half step behind him, shoulders rounded, as though trying to take up less space. They turned down a narrow side street to avoid the rain, and there it was, Mortimer GRIMBLE'S, CURIOS, ODDMENTS and questionable relics. The sign looked like it had been hanging there since the dawn of dust. Will snorted. "What's all this junk then?" Emily murmured. "Maybe we should just go home." But Will was already pushing the door open. Inside, the shop smelled of old paper, candle wax and something faintly medicinal, like Lucozade and cough lozenges with questionable ingredients that had been banned at least a century earlier. Shelves sagged under jars, tins, relics, and objects that looked like they'd been confiscated from time itself. Grimble looked up from behind the counter. "Welcome," he said. "Do browse responsibly." Will laughed. "Mate, this place is wild. What even is all this?" Grimble gestured lazily at the shelves. "Oh, odds and ends, cursed teaspoons, bottled deja vu, a jar of last Tuesday, soul patches." Will blinked. "Soul patches?" "Like nicotine patches," Grimble said, "but for the personality." Emily's eyes flickered with something, curiosity maybe, but Will spoke first. "Can they make someone more traditional?" Grimble tilted his head. "Define traditional." "You know," Will said, warming to his own brilliance. "Old-fashioned, Victorian woman vibes. Gentle, obedient, bakes things, doesn't argue." Emily stared at the floor. Grimble reached beneath the counter and produced a small brass tin. Victorian era, female. Will grinned. "That's exactly what I'm talking about." Emily whispered, "Will, please." He ignored her and paid. Grimble slid the tin across the counter. "Apply nightly," he said. "Results are transformative." Emily applied it because she didn't want another argument. Will went to bed imagining lace aprons and soft smiles. He woke up to Emily standing by the window, posture ramrod straight, wearing a hat. Emily had never worn hats. Her voice was crisp, precise and terrifyingly calm. "Your alarm was set incorrectly," she said. "I've adjusted it." Will blinked. "What's with the accent?" She ignored him and reorganised the kitchen with military efficiency. By lunchtime, she corrected his grammar. By evening, she told him his opinions were structurally flimsy. On day 2, she bought a hat pin. On day 3, she stabbed him in the thigh with it for interrupting her mid-sentence. Will screamed. Emily didn't flinch. On day 4, she left. She joined a protest march and met a gentle man named Alex who brought her water and listened when she spoke. Will, limping and furious, returned to Grimble's shop. He slammed the empty tin on the counter. "You sold me the wrong patch! She's gone mental! She stabbed me! She dumped me! She's with some bloke who makes her tea!" Grimble examined the tin as though it were a rare beetle. "Ah yes," he said. "That one contained a pure dose of Miss Temperance Wick." "Who the hell is that?" "A suffragette," Grimble said. "Activist, firebrand, once jabbed a police inspector with a hatpin for calling her sweetheart. A formidable woman." Will's face went purple. "I wanted a Victorian woman, obedient, gentle, bakes things." Grimble sighed. "You assumed Victorian meant obedient. That is your error, not mine." Will leaned over the counter. "You're going to fix this," he growled, "or I swear." Grimble lifted a slender wand carved from something pale and faintly iridescent. It hummed softly, like a wasp deciding whether to sting. "Mr. Carter," Grimble said, voice calm as a closing tomb, "leave my shop before I turn you into the odious toad you so clearly aspire to be." A spark of green light flickered at the tip. Will fled. A month later, Emily returned to the shop. Alex was with her, holding her hand like it was something precious. Grimble smiled. "Miss Shaw, Miss Wick sends her regards." Emily laughed, a sound Grimble had not heard from her before. "We're looking for something," she said. "Something fun?" Alex blushed. Grimble reached beneath the counter and produced a velvet pouch. Inside was a small glass vial labelled "Spark" for couples who deserve joy. Emily's eyes shone. "Well, take it." Grimble nodded. "Apply sparingly," he said. "Results are invigorating." They left the shop smiling.